Okay, I'm just going to show you briefly the quick setup guide for treating facial treatments with the Hidrex ConnectION. I've got the cables, the grey cables supplied, plugged into the back. This is your positive electrode, this is your negative port electrode, obviously your power point and your on-off switch. Got profiles. At the moment we're in profile 1, which is the storage settings for the hands. I'm going to take it out of this and put it into manual mode because we're treating the face. And the way you do that is you press the arrow up button, which is a profile button, press and hold that, and when you see the change on the screen and press again, it will allow you to scroll through the profiles or turn them all off and you've got P0 on the screen. Okay, so we're not using any of the memory store points, we're not using any of the factory presets. We're using this machine in manual mode. Because we're treating the face, we're going to want to put the machine into pulse current if it's not already in pulse current. And the way we do that is we press and hold the arrow down button. Okay, so N100 is direct, so we need to change that to N90. Okay, so that's a pulse width of 90. So there's various different strengths. 100 with direct current, that applies power 100% of the time to the patient. If you're treating the feet, sometimes the hands, then we recommend that you use direct current because it's the most efficient form of treatment. However, the constant direct current can be uncomfortable for the face. So for that reason, we recommend that you put it into pulse current. And on these machines, there are different strengths of pulse current, if you like. There's the standard pulse current, which is 50-50. So it applies power for half the time, so it's on off in equal measures. It's a really mild treatment. It's fine for the face. The downside to the 50-50 pulse current is that you lose efficiency. So if you imagine a 15-minute session, in direct current, power's applied 100% of the time, you're getting a 15 minutes dosage. If you then put that machine into pulse current on a P50 setting, the pulse 50 setting, the machine is off for half the time. So over your 15-minute session, you're actually only getting 7.5 minutes of dosage. So it gives you a really mild treatment, but it lacks efficiency. So you're actually only getting half the dosage that you would do on a direct current. So for that reason, Hidrex invented the variable pulse current. So you can alter the ratios from 50-50 to 60-40, 70-30, etc. all the way up to 90% power on with a 10% break. And what that does is it applies power for 90% of the time and it's only off for 10% of the time. So that's still a sensitive treatment, it's still a very, very mild sensation, but you're getting much greater efficiency than what you would on a standard pulse current treatment. So I think it's 80% more efficient. So over your 15-minute session, you're actually getting 13.5 minutes of dosage. So you're going to see results much faster, possibly stronger, definitely sooner than you would if you were in a standard pulse current machine. So this is quite a useful feature for facial treatments. So we've got the cables connected. On a normal treatment, let's say normal hands and feet, which is the most common area, obviously you've got a couple of electrodes, a couple of trays, your cables go into each electrode and you place your hands and feet in the trays like you would see on this diagram here. The machine senses that you're in and closes the circuit, delivers the power for the time that you set it. Your facial treatment is a little bit different because you've got your face mask applicator. So this is a standalone electrode on its, by itself, but you need a second electrode to facilitate the closing of the circuit. So you plug your cable just into this crossover here. This would be soaked in warm tap water, by the way, and you just apply it to the face, for example. But what you would do is you set the machine. We told it we want to start with 6 volts. We're not using any of the profiles. We're in pulse P90 and we're ready to begin. We've got warm water in one tray with one electrode, and we've got a wet face mask which we'll apply. So let's just assume I've got it on my face right now. The last step you need to do is to place your hands in the tray. So when you've got the mask on your face, the wet mask on your face, you place your hand in that tray, it closes the circuit, the machine senses it's closed, and it will deliver the power that you've requested it to deliver for the amount of time that you told it to deliver. And simply what you do is you let the machine power up to your 6 volts, and then if you're happy, you increase the power to the maximum comfortable level that you can tolerate. Obviously read both sets of instructions, the basic user guide for the machine and the face mask specific instructions. What you will notice on page 3 is that it recommends that you do a trial treatment. That's all fine, you can go ahead and do that, absolutely. A little bit of confusion because there's a typo, because it says 5 volts when it should say 6 volts, because this machine won't function below 6 volts. But basically you can do a couple of minutes at a low power just to check that your skin is okay with the treatment and you're not going to get any sort of discomfort or irritation or blistering or anything of that nature, because obviously it's the face and it's a very, very sensitive area. So we recommend you follow the instructions and you do a couple of trial sessions in the first couple of days just to get yourself used to it. And then the basic principle is that you want to run that treatment for the 15 minutes each day at the maximum comfortable level that you can tolerate. And there isn't a set power that you need to reach. It's just whatever's comfortable for you, and that's the same for hands and feet or underarms or torso or any other area. You always operate on what's comfortable for you, and it's not always the same for everybody else. So you do your trial sessions, you establish that your skin's okay with it, and then you operate daily at your maximum comfortable level for 15 minutes. They're not the most comfortable things in the world to wear. Obviously this is going to be wet and you want to keep this as wet as you possibly can do. There's a couple of ways you can do that. You can either run the machine, get halfway through it, take your hand out and it will automatically pause the treatment. And what that does is it gives you a little bit of time then to re-soak, and you can reapply the mask, place your hand back in, and the machine will remember where you were and will resume the treatment from that point, so you won't over-treat yourself. Or you can take one of those, like what hairdressers have, to spray water bottles and just keep the mask wet as you're applying it. But the basic principle is, as I said, keep the mask as wet as you possibly can, use warm tap water, run at the maximum comfortable level for the 15 minutes each day, monitor your skin after treatment for signs of discomfort and becoming too dry, because bizarrely, even though you have hyperhidrosis, the surface of your skin can be dry. If it gets too dry, it can crack. If it gets cracked, current will take the path of least resistance and it can cause a blister, and that will mean you'll have to stop treatments until your skin's healed. So it's something you need to sort of be aware of. Moisturise after treatment, don't moisturise before. Make sure your skin is free of makeup or any lotions and moisturisers before treatment. So you want totally clean skin, do your session, moisturise afterwards, drink plenty of water, and stick with it daily, and you should hopefully see a good response.